Most of the world builds with brick, stone, or concrete. But in the United States, houses are mostly built with wood, even in places with hurricanes, wildfires, and termites. So, why does one of the wealthiest countries in the world build most of its homes out of wood? The answer isn't just material, it's speed, labor, cost, and an entire system built around it. In theory, masonry seems like the better material. Brick and concrete are stronger in compression, more fire resistant, and often more durable over time. Wood, on the other hand, is lighter, weaker in some directions, and more vulnerable to fire and moisture. So, if masonry performs better in many ways, why isn't it the default? Because buildings aren't just about material strength. They're about how easily that material can be used, moved, and assembled. And that's where wood starts to change the equation. Wood framing allows houses to go up incredibly fast. A framing crew can build the structure of a house in a matter of days. With masonry, construction is much slower. Each unit has to be placed individually, aligned, leveled, and bonded. And in many cases, you have to wait for mortar to set before continuing. That difference in speed matters more than it seems, because in construction, time directly translates into cost. But wood isn't just faster, it fits into a much cheaper system. In the US, timber is abundant, and the entire supply chain is optimized for wood construction. From sawmills to standardized lumber sizes, everything is built around efficiency. Masonry, by contrast, requires more material, more labor, and more time. And because construction is often financed through loans, longer projects mean higher costs. So even if masonry can last longer, wood wins in the short-term economics of building. Building with masonry requires skilled labor. Laying brick or block properly takes years to learn. Wood framing, while still skilled, is easier to standardize and train at scale. That difference becomes critical when there's a labor shortage. Developers don't just choose materials, they choose what they can actually build with, given the workforce available. And in the US, the system evolved around faster training and more accessible labor. But wood construction comes with real trade-offs. It burns. It can rot. It requires protection from moisture, insects, and weather. Masonry performs better in many of these areas. But modern building systems try to compensate with drywall for fire resistance, with coatings and barriers for moisture, and with engineering for structural performance. So instead of choosing the most durable material, the system chooses the most efficient one and manages the risks around it. So, if wood has so many trade-offs, why hasn't something replaced it? There are alternatives. Concrete and masonry systems are still widely used around the world, especially in places where durability and fire resistance matter more than speed. But even newer systems are emerging. Cross-laminated timber, or CLT, allows wood to be used in larger, stronger panels, making it possible to build taller and more solid structures, while still using prefabrication. Light gauge steel framing is another option. It's non-combustible, consistent, and doesn't suffer from rot or termites. But it's more expensive and harder to work with in the field. There are also insulated concrete forms, or ICF, which combine concrete strength with built-in insulation. They perform well in energy efficiency and durability, but require more time and specialized labor. So why hasn't any of these replaced wood? Because none of them match the full system. Wood isn't just a material. It's fast, widely available, easy to modify on site, and supported by an entire industry built around it. New materials can solve some of wood's weaknesses, but they often introduce new costs, new complexity, or new limitations. The reason the US builds with wood isn't because it's the best material. It's because it fits the system. A system built around speed, cost, labor, and scale. And once that system is in place, everything else follows. This is Builder Brief. We're building a space for serious, system-level conversations about housing, land, and construction beyond headlines and beyond politics. Our goal is simple: to understand how the built environment actually works and why it affects all of us. If you find this work valuable, consider subscribing and supporting the channel. It helps us continue producing independent, data-driven analysis like this.